Stop wasting money on beer traps and toxic pellets that barely work. Every morning you walk out to find overnight gastropod damage on your lettuce, brassicas, and seedlings is another reminder that temporary fixes are costing you crops without solving the problem. This $20 strip of copper creates a permanent electrolytic barrier that deters slugs and snails from your raised beds for good, chemical-free, maintenance-light, and completely compatible with the regenerative soil biology you have worked hard to build beneath the surface. The high cost of traditional pest control. Beer traps require daily monitoring, refilling, and disposal of dead slugs, a labor commitment that scales poorly across a productive garden. Salt kills slugs on contact but also damages soil structure and suppresses microbial activity wherever it lands, making it incompatible with any bed you intend to grow food in long term. Iron phosphate pellets, often marketed as organic safe, break down into phosphate compounds that accumulate in soil over multiple seasons. None of these approaches addresses the biological drive that brings gastropods back to your beds night after night. They navigate by moisture and chemical scent trails, and unless a physical barrier interrupts the path entirely, the invasion continues regardless of how many individuals you remove or kill. The science of the electrolytic shock. When a slug or snail makes contact with copper, the metal reacts with the mucus the gastropod secretes for locomotion. This reaction generates a small but measurable electrical signal, a low-voltage current that disrupts the gastropod's nervous system and triggers an immediate aversion response. The animal does not die. It retreats and does not return to the barrier. This is a neurological deterrent, not a toxin, which means no residue enters the soil, no beneficial insects are affected, and no harm reaches the earthworms and fungal networks operating inside the bed. The critical distinction between copper tape products and solid copper flashing is conductivity, surface area, and durability. Copper-plated adhesive tapes carry a thin metallic coating that oxidizes through and loses conductivity within 1 to 2 seasons. Solid copper flashing, the same material used in roofing construction, maintains its conductive surface for decades, with oxidation producing a patina that reduces visual brightness but does not eliminate the electrical reaction with gastropod mucus. Step-by-step installation for raised beds. Purchase copper flashing in a width of at least 5 cm. Narrow tape gives slugs a surface area they can arch over without full body contact, reducing effectiveness. Cut the flashing to the perimeter length of each raised bed using tin snips, with sections overlapping by at least 2 cm at joins to eliminate entry gaps. Fix the flashing to the exterior face of the raised bed frame using copper nails or staples. Avoid galvanized or steel fasteners, which create a galvanic reaction that accelerates copper corrosion. Position the flashing so the top edge sits flush with or slightly above the top of the bed frame, preventing gastropods from reaching the soil surface from the outside. Ensure no plant foliage overhangs the copper perimeter. Trailing leaves create a physical bridge that bypasses the barrier entirely and accounts for the majority of copper system failures in established gardens. Maintaining the barrier for decades. Heavy oxidation, the green patina that develops on copper after prolonged exposure, does not eliminate the electrolytic reaction with gastropod mucus, but a buildup of soil, debris, or organic matter on the flashing surface can insulate it and reduce contact conductivity. Clean the copper once per season with a cloth dampened in diluted white vinegar, which removes surface debris and oxidation buildup without damaging the metal. Inspect joint overlaps after winter, as timber expansion and contraction can open gaps at connection points. Beyond this annual check, the system requires no further intervention. A single $20 investment in copper flashing outlasts years of repeat purchases on traps, pellets, and deterrent sprays combined. A permanent physical barrier is the ideal pest deterrent for a no-till regenerative bed precisely because it operates entirely above the soil surface. No digging, no chemical residue, no disruption to the fungal networks and bacterial communities building fertility beneath the bed. Within 2 to 3 weeks of installation, the difference in foliage condition on vulnerable crops, lettuce, basil, young brassica transplants, becomes visible as the nightly gastropod pressure drops to zero inside the perimeter. Subscribe to Natural Crops and AMP Soil Hub for more evidence-based, chemical-free crop protection strategies, and share this with a fellow gardener who has been losing seedlings to slugs every single night.